Hi there, Joka here, and in this video I'm going to focus on the new Let's Be Mermaids cover plate. This is an A2 size cover plate, and obviously you can use it in simple ways where you don't do any inlay technique, but you probably by now you know me, and this is one of my favorite things. I think for me anyway, it's one of the easiest ways to add multiple colors to a card. And so I like to design these kind of cover plates where I can do that. So I die cut a couple of panels from white, and then I started die cutting from, I think, 4 different colors, 2 pinks and 2 blues. And I started filling 2 of the panels. Of course, you could create 4 at a time if you don't want to waste any of these pieces, and you could also then use the color panels for another project, but I only wanted to do 2, and then I did use the outline of the other ones. And in fact, I used some of the so from the blue panel that's coming up sometime soon, I also used 2 extra pieces. So here are the ready filled in panels, and this one here I used 3 layers, I think, 2 different blues and the lightest pink, and I layered them up a little bit offset. I forgot to hit record on my iPad, so unfortunately that part is missing from the video. But I think when you look at the card, you can see what I did there. Now I'm gonna finish all of the cards very simply using the You Can Count on Me number die set, and then also this German set called Für dich. I picked a bunch of sentiments that I thought I could use. One is going to be for my mother-in-law. She's turning 75, as well as my mom, actually, within 1 week of each other. But I did not make a card for my mom just yet. So my mother-in-law lives on a boat, and so I have an anchor die from last year, and that is the reason I'm going to use that die for that card. And for that card I'm using Gratulation, which is congratulations in English. And you can, so this is the anchor die that I was talking about. I am die cutting that from Steel Blue. That's the newest Spellbinders cardstock. That's my favorite, and I'm using it on most of my projects lately. And then I'm also die cutting some random numbers. Honestly, I don't have anybody that's turning 18, and I don't have anybody that's turning 6. Those 2 cards are for nobody, but all the other cards that I created with the new products were actually for someone specific. Now this is how I do these sentiments normally. I'm adding some glue to the bottom. You could die cut that with double-sided adhesive, of course, and then I'm filling in the the inside part, but this is actually not normally what I do. I normally use the white, all white on top, also the cutout pieces, and then I'm adding the color cardstock on top of that, so that is more dimensional than this. This is quicker for sure, especially when the die cuts don't come apart, and then you can just place one above the other and then just push the cutouts inside. If that makes any sense. It's really hard to explain, but it's so easy to do. Anyway, now I am putting together my cards, and for that I'm just adding some double-sided adhesive with my ATG, and that's it. These are really simple cards. Basically, well, it does take some time to do the inlay, but then I really don't want to cover up that beautiful background, so I don't really add a whole lot of things. Just really a number here, and if you could see, the number set actually comes with some tiny little flowers that you can embellish your numbers with, and that's what I'm going to do on two of these cards actually. So this is the flower and some of the leaves from that set. I die cut those from a different shade of the same color, so basically a darker blue and a darker pink, just so that they stand out. And then I use the same pink for the sentiment, and I couldn't really decide where I want to place that sentiment, top, bottom, and then I ended up adding it in the middle. I think it's not normally what I do, but that's what looked best for me at that time. Okay, and then I am going to add some enamel dots to this. One of this is available in my shop still, the darker pink. Actually, I think I don't use the lighter one on this. The lighter one is still not available. I am still waiting. It was supposed to be available in April, but now it's scheduled for May, so I don't know when it's gonna happen. Yeah, so this card is almost done. I'm just adding a little bit more texture with twine. This is something you probably noticed I do a lot as well. I have no idea why. Sometimes I feel like the card could use a little bit of something. So the next one, I use the folklore set or the circle die from the folklore set to create this semicircle. And then I glue it on top of another cardstock and then fussy cut it out just to add a little bit more stability and dimension to that part. I mean, this is the Nina heavyweight cardstock, so it wouldn't be see-through, but I always have that feeling, that you can see the design under it. Now, this number I did not use the outline with, and then I'm trying to create some little clusters with those flowers. And normally I would only add one cluster to the 8 as well, but for some reason I do not like 2 clusters in total. So since I had one on the 1, I wanted to add 3 in total, but it was kind of difficult. I like a bit more of a random placement than symmetrical, so that's why you see me play around with it, and I'm pretty sure I played around with it longer. I just edited that out from the video, I'm sure. Decisions, right? Okay, but once I settled, or not yet, once I settle on where I want to place them, I'm starting to glue down everything with liquid glue, and I'm just adding the sentiment in this case, and in this case I'm adding some foam tape to it. And Um, I'm leaving out the last letters, the S in, actually I'm trying to look, yeah, the E and the S in both of those die cuts, because there's a little bit of dimension under those letters. So if I add foam tape, it wouldn't be flush, so I just leave that. And I'm adding some enamel dots again for a bit of a different texture there, and a little bit of pop of color. Not that it's very bright, but I do love this color. I really hope I'm gonna have that in the shop soon. So any of you who already got the enamel dots, because some of you did, do you like them? Because I really, really do. I really hope you guys like them as well. Okay, so for the anchor, I die cut it from blue cardstock, but also heavyweight white cardstock, and then I layer them up for stability. And I knew that I was gonna use foam tape on it, so I like my die cuts to be sturdy. And I place it at an angle. I kind of messed it up. I wanted to put it a little bit more towards the towards the top, because now I have kind of an empty spot there, and I did not like the sentiment there. So you will see soon what I will add, just to kind of fill that space, at least visually. Well, you will see what I mean in a second. And again, the number I used without the outline, and I had a couple of layers again to make them more like chipboard and stable. Then I'm also gluing down my sentiment. I added one cluster of flowers, and now I'm removing a section of the foam tape I used on that anchor, and I'm adding a little bit of navy twine. And you see the way the twine is going towards the top, it gives you the feeling that it's not empty there, if that makes sense. And then I added one enamel dot for the little flower, and then these three cards are done. I hope I could give you some inspiration, and I hope you like these new products. Thank you very much for spending some time with me, and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.